Tonight on News 5 Live, a bloody New Year's weekend across the country. A tourist is shot and killed in San Pedro while celebrating a birthday. A double murder in Belmopan on New Year's Eve. Police charges one of their own, Corporal Elmer, for the executions of the Ramnareis brothers. And is Brad's Gaming Group complying with the conditions of its exclusive license to conduct lotteries? These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Debari, Tropigas, and Quartz. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800-A-WAY-OUT or our cell phone number 672-9628.
Join us for an engaging and inspiring service from Sagebrush Church that the whole family will love. Each week, you will have the opportunity to take part in amazing worship and learn how you can make your personal relationship with God a priority. Watch us on TV, stream us online, or visit us in person at one of our 8 physical locations. Go to sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app to find locations and times to watch.
What if the profits of your bank were shared equally with you instead of with unknown shareholders and large corporations? What if those profits remained in Belize to enrich the communities where we live? What if just having an account with your bank meant that you were now a part owner of that bank? What if your voice mattered and you had a say in how your bank is being run? What if your bank was always looking out for your best interests and its biggest goal was to see you succeed? That's what it means to be part of a credit union where all of our members are in this together. Communities work best when they work for each other. Cooperation strengthens us all. Discover the credit union difference and find out just how stronger we can be together.
Knowing your HIV status is now easier than ever.
Did you know that you can test for HIV in the comfort of your own home by simply swabbing your gums?
OraQuick is an in-home HIV test that can provide you with results in just 20 minutes. The test detects HIV antibodies with over 99% accuracy and is trusted by healthcare professionals worldwide.
If you receive a positive result, you should contact your nearest healthcare clinic to perform follow-up testing and to get advice on what to do to stay healthy.
And even if you get a negative result, remember, it is important to continue protecting yourself from HIV and other STIs. Using a condom correctly every time you have sex is the best way to do so.
HIV self-testing kit is convenient, reliable, and now available in Belize. Your test, your way. Bob.
For more information on where HIV self-testing kits will be available, please contact the National AIDS Commission, the Belize Family Life Association, or the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, January 3rd. I am Sabrina Daly. It was a violent New Year weekend filled with bloodshed, with 5 murders reported across the country. Tonight, we will bring you coverage of these tragic incidents, starting in Belmopan, where 2 brothers are dead and 1 woman remains hospitalized fighting for her life. On Saturday night, just before 8 a.m., 38-year-old John Ramnareis and his wife, Vivian Ramnareis, were at their home, along with John's brother, 29-year-old David Ramnareis, and his common-law wife, 28-year-old Yemi Alberto. The unthinkable occurred. A gunman entered the property and murdered both brothers, leaving behind Yemi Alberto and Vivian Ramnareis with multiple gunshot injuries. It is a crime that has shocked the entire country. And today, News 5's Paul Lopez traveled to Belmopan to learn more. Here is that report.
It was to be a night of celebration for the Ramnareis family to bring in 2023. But Saturday night ended in bloodshed with the callous and calculated execution of brothers John and David Ramnareis in Belmopan. The siblings were socializing at John's residence, awaiting the arrival of several other family members and friends, when a lone gunman entered the yard. The carnage began on the front lawn, where the gunman opened fire on John and David. The suspect then entered John's home, where his wife, Vivian Ramnareis, and David's common-law wife, Yemi Alberto, were seeking cover. They too were targeted. Information to News 5 is that Vivian Ramnareis was shot as many as 6 times. Her mother spoke with us off camera.
Well, the family is in shock because we never expected something like this to ever happen to our family, you know. These guys are good guys, John and Mikey. My daughter, thank God she's alive. It's just something we cannot comprehend. We don't understand why somebody would want to do this to them.
What is even more shocking about the incident is the fact that John's 5-year-old daughter was inside the house at the time of the shooting. She witnessed the entire ordeal. The child, however, fled through the back door into the bushes in the darkness to a neighboring home.
When I went to the house, the police were there, and I told him, my daughter lives here, so I want to go inside. No, you cannot go to contaminate any crime scene. So I said, but what we want to know who, because they told me a body was there. Somebody was lying dead. Can we see who it is? No, you cannot. But they said, go to the hospital because your daughter and her husband have been taken to the hospital. But I asked, where is my granddaughter? They said, a neighbor has has her. So I picked her up from the neighbor, and then we went to the hospital. And it was just so unbelievable, you know.
Tonight, the family remains in shock as they seek answers for this heinous crime. Brothers David and John, by all accounts, were hard-working men with a strong religious background. John in particular was known for his conservation work with the Wildlife Conservation Society. He was the developer behind the Fish Right, Eat Right application.
At first, disbelief. And I think as our team learned the news, and it's just been a very shocking news, and it's shaken our team because indeed WCS is a family of people that work together. We spend most of our time together, you know, working on various initiatives, and John was very, very friendly and was involved in so many awesome things. And he loved cooking. He loved to do all sorts of things for his home and his family. Of course, this is very, very sad news for us, but it's also sad news for the entire conservation community. So his experience was fairly new for himself in conservation, but we know he would have been around the practitioners because his wife has been a career conservationist or a fisheries in the fisheries sector with the department.
Police investigation into Saturday night's double murder continues, and so far an arrest has been made. 36-year-old Elmer Na has been slapped with a slew of charges, including 2 counts of murder, attempted murder, use of deadly means of harm, and dangerous harm. Na is a police officer on interdiction following charges related to a drug plane landing in southern Belize back in 2021.
A team of investigators headed by myself, Mr. Greenwich, and Mr. Caracamo. We canvassed the area properly. We talked with people, we viewed video footages, and we were able to gather statements from witnesses who saw what took place. And based on that, we were able to arrest and charge Elmer Na with the crime of murder.
As for a motive, police are still seeking to ascertain a reason for the shooting. Compal Williams dispelled reports that the family was targeted because the brothers were witnesses in the murder of Michael Williams and the attempt on the lives of 2 other men, just 2 days prior.
Fortunately, that's not the case. The police did not even approach the Ramnaris in respect to that matter or interview them. And they live quite a distance away, it's about 2 streets away. I have heard the rumors in the public domain that they were witnesses. That is not so.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And at around 2 p.m. this afternoon, 39-year-old Elmer Na was escorted to Belmopan Magistrates Court in chains and under heavy security. Family members and friends of the murder victims gathered outside the courtroom to witness Na's arraignment. He was placed on remand and is tonight locked away inside the Belize Central Prison. News 5's Paul Lopez was there. He filed the following report.
39-year-old Elmer Na was arraigned this morning inside the Belmopan Magistrates Court. Heavily armed police officers escorted a restrained Na towards the entrance of the courtroom while he shouted towards onlookers that he's being wrongfully accused.
I just want to say, I'll be wrongfully accused. Elmer Na, wrongfully accused, brother. Wrongfully. I'll be wrongfully accused for this crime. And who are my family, brother?
A group of spectators, including family members and friends of murder victims David and John Ramnaris, gathered outside of the Belmopan Magistrates Court. Many of them had been waiting for hours to get a first-hand look at the accused murderer. The family of the victims declined comment, but one Belmopan resident spoke with News 5 about why he decided to show up to Na's arraignment.
I know a lot of people now show up because they're intimidated and a lot of them they worry about their face being seen on the news and so on. For anybody will know me, I'm not a public person either, but I think this may call for me to come out because I fall in a category. A lot of other citizens will experience similar things under the police dealing with them now. And this is something where I made a highlight for quite a while about this individual because my personal experience and others in my community.
Na continued to plead his innocence before the magistrate. His shouts were heard by those outside the courtroom waiting for his exit. And when Na did emerge some 10 minutes later, he appeared to be calm as he was taken into the police van and transported to the Belize Central Prison, where he remains on remand tonight.
As we speak right now, you might can't see it, but I still shake, man. You understand? That's something where left. The Christmas was here, the New Year's was here, and there was nothing festive about it because of this last, where we as a community they experience. And not that for say anybody bad deserve anything like that, but just it happening to the Ramna Race brothers. Brother, then a man will bring their watchtower and they talk godly with you. Then a Jehovah Witnesses that all I ever know about them guys. Yeah. As a community, we need to get up and show the people and that listen, we elect mayors, we elect area representatives. Then people have to truly represent the community. You understand? Cases like this we supposed to hear, all right, good. This is the way we want to do to proactively make sure things like this not occur again and put things in a place.
According to Compal Williams, surveillance footage of the incident clearly reveals that the suspect carried out this brazen attack with the intent to kill. Compal Williams says police detained Na with a spotlight on his head, similar to what the shooter was wearing as seen in the surveillance footage. A search was conducted inside his home.
The shooter have a wealth of experience in handling a firearm. The way he maneuvered the firearm and maneuvered himself shows that he is well trained. And like you rightly said, he had a specific intent to kill. Even after he had shot the victims outside, he went in, came out back and I don't want to go too graphic, but what he did when he came back outside showed the clear intent to kill. And obviously, the time he spent inside the house also demonstrates that he had all intent to kill the females who were in there. But thankfully, they were able to secure themselves in a room, and he could not have entered the room. And that's the reason why those two females remain alive today, and we're grateful for that. The truth is, the light was actually found still on his head when the police got there. I'm not going to go into details in terms of all that was found, but police did uncover some materials that can be used as evidence.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
A special prosecutor will be sought through the Attorney General's office in the days ahead to pursue the case against Corporal Elmer Na in court. According to Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa, that individual will be chiefly responsible for putting together the argument on behalf of the Crown. That decision was taken out of an abundance of caution in order to avoid any controversy that may arise out of the Director of Public Prosecution's relationship with the family of the accused murderer.
That is a matter when I learned that Elmer Na was the prime suspect in this case, that immediately I contacted the Prime Minister to get his blessing, because in this case, while it is that the DPP may on her own want to recuse herself from this case because of her relationship through marriage, we are taking no chances, and in fact we will be hiring a special prosecutor for this case, of course in conjunction with the family. They must be satisfied as well with the selection to prosecute this case. So you can be rest assured that a special prosecutor will be hired for this case.
Minister Musa, I'd like for you to sort of expound a little bit on the plans for a special prosecutor. Do we know who that person is going to be yet? Is it going to be somebody from outside? Is it going to be a Crown Counsel? What are the scope of their responsibilities?
Yes, like I mentioned, it is something that we would wish for the Attorney General's ministry to have input, as well as the family. And so we are not limiting it to just Belize prosecutor, but certainly one from the Caribbean that has similar legislation to ours and laws as ours. And so that is the direction that we're looking, either from Belize that the family can agree to, or one from the Caribbean from outside.
Sworn to protect and serve, Corporal Elmer Nah, badge number 1229, has been accused on several occasions in the past of running afoul of the very laws that he vowed to enforce as an officer of the Belize Police Department. Today, he is once again the prime suspect in a heinous New Year's Eve attack that left 2 persons dead and 2 others injured. The policeman, who was on interdiction for a previous incident involving the landing of a drug plane on the Southern Highway near Bladen in 2021, is also a suspect in another deadly shooting on December 29th. News 5's Isani Kayatana looks back at several stories in which Nah was named as a person of interest.
Elmer Nah's history as a rogue cop is well documented. During the murder trial of former woman police constable Michelle Brown, who was accused of the shooting death of Belize City barber Farid Ahmad, she testified under oath that Corporal Elmer Nah was in fact the triggerman.
Yes, Michelle Brown did made mention of certain things on the stand in court. That cannot be regarded as evidence for us. She would have to perhaps approach the DPP, give a statement separate and apart from what we already have on file. And based on that, then the DPP, if she were to find it to be believable or reasonable, may issue directives to the police where that is concerned.
Well, I think quite a bit came up during the trial. I think as well that there were certain names of officers that she also mentioned, right? And maybe that is an element for question in terms of the prosecution and the DPP's office. Why were those missing pieces not presented in the trial, right? It's unfortunate how it ended up, but this is a process and we have to respect what arises out of it.
In early 2021, the family of Rafael Garrido believed that the officer may have been involved in his disappearance and subsequent murder.
I need justice for my son. They not broke me, they make me stronger. Anybody out there will kill my son, now I know that he dead. I am aware of everything, but you know something? The pain, the hurt, everything make me stronger for my son. I want the death for my son. I want burial, and thank God for that. I find anybody and I want carry on home. But this is just the beginning, because I know I sleep. I need justice for my son and I need the police to do their job. I don't care who they out there, Mr. Chester, whosoever, I need answers about my son, and now that the time.
According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, while Nah's name was mentioned in relation to that incident, investigators had nothing substantial to go by that would tie him to the murder of Rafael Garrido.
So yes, in Garrido case, Nah's name was called, but there was nothing tangible that we could have gone with to say, you know what, we can charge. If anybody at this time have any information that they believe can help, the case is still open. We're willing to listen and record statements or gather evidence, as the case may be, to further the matter.
Several months later, in 2021, Corporal Nah, along with several other officers attached to the commander of Operation Strike Team, a specialized unit led by former Deputy Commissioner of Police Marco Vidal, was busted in connection with the landing of a drug plane near Bladen Village.
On Saturday night, or Saturday evening, Independence Police were on a checkpoint, and having received certain information, they attempted to stop 2 vehicles that were coming from the direction of where the plane had landed. Upon stopping those vehicles, one of the vehicles was occupied by Corporal Nah, his wife, his daughter, and another police officer. A search of the vehicle led to the discovery of one issued 9mm pistol and over 100.223 rounds of ammunition. from what we believe that, yes, those ammunitions are police ammunitions, but Corporal Na is on leave, and so he ought not to have been in possession of the department's ammunition, particularly in such quantity. And based on that, he was detained. And our investigation in respect to his involvement in the plane landing was also done.
In the wake of the drug plane landing, Na was sidelined from active duty. A tribunal within the police department subsequently cleared him of the internal charges brought against him.
Well, since Na had been on interdiction, the police had been to his home a number of occasions to conduct search. So while, yes, he has been inactive, we have been on him as well. And as the commissioner, I can only do so much. There are many police officers I wish I could just do away with. But what can I do? I'm a creature of law, and we have to go through a process in order to dismiss somebody, and Na is going through that process. I don't control his movements, neither does the minister, neither does Mr. Carcamo, who's in charge of Benapan. He's a big man. The court grants him bail. He's free. And the very least we can do is to monitor him as best as we can, but we can't babysit him.
Notwithstanding the decision of the tribunal, the internal matter against Corporal Na is being appealed based on errors made by the adjudicator of that case. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Coming up, U.S. tourist shot dead in San Pedro. Police say victim was caught in the middle of gang warfare. Find out the details when we come back.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "But we also joy in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, by whom we have now received the atonement." The word atonement is a word used only one time in the New Testament, but many times in the Old Testament. But the entire Christian faith hinges upon it. The word means a covering and describes what God does with our sins when by faith we come to Him. He covers them with His blood. The great preacher Dr. R.G. Lee once said that as he and Mel Trotter and F.B. Meyer were walking across a burned prairie, they came to a dead bird with its wings outstretched, and as they turned the bird over, 4 little birds opened their mouths for something to eat. Suddenly they realized that the mother bird had saved the baby birds' lives by spreading her wings over them and protecting them from the blazes of the burning prairie fire. Dr. Meyer turned to R.G. Lee and said, "Lee, that is what Christ did for me when He died on the cross of Calvary. He covered my sin debt by dying in my stead." That is exactly what the atonement means. But so often men try to cover or conceal their own sins through the efforts of their own, only to find that he that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. Blessed, happy, fortunate, to be envied is he who has forgiveness of his transgressions, whose sin is covered. How can you reject life's greatest gift? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Somos Los Ángeles Azules. Nos vemos este 4 de febrero en Belice, en el People Stereo. Sus amigos de Los Ángeles Azules.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. Diginet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de Diginet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. Diginet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
The Social Security Board is proud to have served Belizeans in 2022.
Belize faced challenges such as the continuing COVID-19 pandemic and Hurricane Lisa. Our country's resilience and ability to persevere in adversity is the prevailing and unifying theme. Of our many organizational accomplishments in 2022, we are particularly proud of our commitment to impact the lives of Belizean citizens positively and continuously under our corporate social responsibility portfolio. As a responsible corporate citizen, SSB supported various societal partners to amplify progress in many communities and provided empowerment opportunities through scholarships, sports, education, and health. SSB recognizes that for societal change to abound, we must continue our integral efforts to drive change and contribute to causes in meaningful and impactful ways. Our community engagements will forever serve as the most meaningful moments for 2022. 2023 will be another transformational year for SSB. It will be a year of enhanced community engagement and outreach, and the rollout of additional service enhancements via the My Social Security self-service portal. We stand ready to continue our service to you. From the Board of Directors, management, and staff of the Social Security Board, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
On Friday night, just as downtown San Pedro was coming alive with activities, a succession of gunshots broke the festive spirit. Within minutes, a celebration was turned into a crime scene. An American nursing student, 23-year-old Jabria Michelle Bowens from Indianapolis, Indiana, who was on vacation and celebrating her dad's birthday with her family, was shot dead. The bullets came from a gunman who emerged from the direction of Central Park, firing towards a man standing in front of Jaguars nightclub across the street. Bowens and her family were sitting on a golf cart in front of the establishment when the fatal shots struck her. She died within minutes. Before that incident, San Pedro had only recorded one other murder for 2022, one that occurred on the morning of November 19th and claimed the life of a nightclub proprietor. Now, as San Pedro reels from this latest incident, it leaves some of the residents calling for more police security by authorities. News 5's Marian Ali has the details in the following report.
On New Year's Eve, sometime around 9:30 p.m. thereabout, police responded to information of shots fired in the area of Jaguar nightclub. When they arrived there, the victim, a female tourist, was observed with a gunshot injury. She was transported to the San Pedro Polyclinic, where upon arrival she was pronounced dead.
The ensuing wave of chaos that enveloped the street as people dashed for safety during the shooting spree spread way past the Catholic Church further up the street. Pastor at the church, Father Eduardo Montemayor, was closing the church at the time and offered his help.
I heard a lot of them, I don't know, 20. I think they found something like 22, 23 shells. Immediately, then I went to the door. This door was locked, so I went to this other side door, open door, and I started seeing people screaming and running north. Some of them were running into the church to seek shelter in the church. After I called 911, I went over there and I found a poor woman just laying in front of Jaguar's rehab lounge that had been shot multiple times. Their family, her family was around her like in shock, literally in shock. I immediately gave her the anointing of the sick. I forgave her sins, and then I just entrusted her to God's mercy. Afterwards, I took her pulse. She had no pulse at that time.
The killing is the type of crime that doesn't happen too often in San Pedro. But when it does, it can cripple the country's image internationally, particularly when it happens during the height of the tourism season. A tourist caught in a warfare of two rivaling gangs. The incident prompted the Belize Police Department, coupled with the Ministries of Home Affairs, Tourism, and the area representative for Belize Rural South, Minister Andre Perez, to meet the following morning to discuss what measures would be implemented to restore peace and a sense of safety in San Pedro. Minister of Home Affairs, Karim Musa, says there's already been a commitment for enhanced police presence and upgrades.
I have received the assurances of our Prime Minister and our Cabinet that the police department will receive the necessary resources, especially in San Pedro with the warring factions there. We will receive from the BTB assistance with 2 police booths. We have also received assurances from Minister Mahler that we will be equipped with 2 vessels for the police department to be able to respond to crimes happening on the water in San Pedro.
The incident has left the islanders we spoke with concerns about the gravity of such a crime in their community.
Even the locals get scared of coming out, right? And especially in the night now, sometimes they will say, oh, they won't come to the park because like the other stalls, they come and work at night. They sell their burgers, their tacos, their burritos. So I think it's affecting them more because they work in the night.
For our community here in the island, for me it's a bad review because as being a tourist place, and because we survive on tourists, the island survive on tourists, and for happen something like that, it's very, very unfortunate for all of us as locals, as tourists as well. I think we should increment more security.
I just actually left like maybe 20 minutes before it happened, and I'm glad that I did because I wasn't there, and thank God I didn't get hurt. But it does affect us, a lot for the tourists, for them to come and do something like that around in the crowd where there's a lot of people and kids, it didn't make any sense.
The news is surprising, sad,
We come here a lot. We love Belize. I've gotten to know it very well. We love Placencia and Ambergris Caye, so we go to both places. And it is sad, you know, and hearing things like that, I think it can cut down. I think tourists come here more because they hear about what goes on in Mexico, and so they want to feel safe. It's a wonderful country, you know, we love it here, but that is really sad and somewhat shocking to hear. You know, we don't want that kind of crime to be here.
Those concerns have not fallen on deaf ears. Minister of Blue Economy, Andrea Perez, who is the area representative for Belize Rural South, spoke with the family of the fallen tourist.
We will not countenance this. We will not tolerate these things. As such is that we from the leadership, as our elected representative, along with the council, the mayor, we remain committed to support the relevant departments. Tourists come here with their families, and they certainly would like to go to a child-friendly place that is safe. That's important. And by setting up that park there, we must ensure, along with everyone around there, including the Catholic churches there already, they have been voicing their concerns as well. So we're listening to working everyone. What we want to be is fair and equitable, and that everybody here has a say in this. But the most important thing is that the Central Park area needs to be secured, and I'm committed to that.
Residents of the island town turned out the following evening to hold a vigil in memory of the fallen tourist. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
In the wake of the fatal shooting, Prime Minister John Briceño issued a release stating that the government has directed that Commissioner of Police Chester Williams leads the hunt for those responsible for the killing. The release notes that while the act itself was senseless, it is a remote, random incident. The PM asked the San Pedro community to continue to stand with the police in cracking down on any and all types of crimes on the island. The U.S. Embassy, in its release, joined everyone in offering condolences to the victim's family and that they stand ready to provide all appropriate consular assistance to them. The embassy said that they are closely monitoring the local authorities' investigation. Swift police action led to the arrest of 2 fishermen on the San Mateo area of San Pedro in the wake of the killing. They are 24-year-old Delson Paguada and 33-year-old Lucio Salazar. The duo was brought off the island in the absence, that is, of a magistrate in that jurisdiction, and they were escorted to the Belize Magistrates Court, where they appeared unrepresented before Magistrate Denison Manan at 2 this afternoon. Paguada and Salazar were charged jointly with Bowen's murder. Magistrate Manan explained that, due to the nature of the offense, no plea would be taken. They were denied bail and were remanded to the Belize Central Prison until March 3rd. But while they are on pretrial detention, Paguada's mother, Amancia Martinez, turned to the media to say that the police have the wrong man and explained why her son could not have committed the crime.
We was at home like about 9:15, 9:30. So I took my phone. I went on the social media when I saw one of my friends posting shooting on the central of town, on the Central Park. So I turned back, I tell my son, Delson Paguada, I said, Delson, this young boy yours post that they have gunshot that town. My son replied back to me, he said, Mommy, maybe some drunken man where they spend Christmas and they get crazy. So anyway, that was it, less than 10 minutes. I look, I see the police truck. Run to my house and pick up 2 of my sons out of their bed and handcuff them. I say, what do you know I do with my kids?
So they were in their bed when the shooting happened?
When the shooting happened in downtown and we live across the bridge.
Okay, so you said you were talking to Delson.
Yeah, I was talking
and
to
he was
Delson.
where in the house?
In his bed, in my house. Okay. So, and I asked them, I told them, what is that? They said, there is shooting in downtown. We're just gonna take them to secure them at the police station. I said, but secure them for what? Because there is a lot of gunshot in town. So that was it. I see this like a personal things against my kids. Okay. Because anything will happen in the island,
Sometimes I am sleeping. Boom, 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 boom. Police is knocking the door. Okay, I live like almost half an hour from the island, from downtown, you know. Okay. Police will, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, knocking my door, broken my door. Where's Delson? Where's Tion? Like I say, what? They will wake me up.
And where are they?
Right home. Okay. You know, so I don't know what to do. You know, I'm tired of that. Tired. You know.
You're saying that they're innocent of all three
Innocent
charges.
Of all 3 charges. Innocent.
So they are before the courts for a previous
Yes.
murder.
Yes.
And that is why they're on curfew.
On curfew and on bail, both of them.
During the efforts of first responders to offer assistance to Bowens, she was picked up and placed in the back of a truck to be taken to the polyclinic. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams said the decision was taken in the interest of offering urgent medical attention. But he also chided the media for posting the images that were taken.
They were trying to give her medical attention. I asked the question because when I saw the images, I was disturbed by it. And so I asked the question of the police, why was it not that as she was placed in the vehicle, they took off with her to the hospital? But like you said, they were trying to give her urgent treatment. And while the family did consented for that, they never consented for their daughter to be exposed to the public the way the media caused her to be exposed. Man, of a young lady, man, we should have more empathy towards females, and to see that the media houses were so quick to put her picture out there in that condition, it speaks volume of us as a society.
While those in authority have pledged the proverbial leaving no stone unturned to bring those responsible to justice, some in the tourism industry have expressed concern that because the murder conviction rate in Belize is low, many times people who are charged for murders and manslaughter are never convicted and end up walking away as free men. Strengthening of the judiciary is another area that Cabinet is looking at.
We do recognize as a government and as a cabinet, we have discussed that there are issues there that we need to strengthen in the judiciary system. And we are working on that as well. But at this point in time, this very moment, this terrible incident that is so glaring, that has reverberated across the whole country, and including what has happened in Belmopan and Belize City in the times of the holidays, when it should have been a time of family, of getting together to prepare ourselves in a more renewed efforts to deal with 2023. All of this exposes himself that we are all overboard, burdened, the police department, the judicial system, and yes, indeed, the conviction rate is very low. These are concerns that we are, but we from the elected bodies, we are committed to doing these things, that we bring justice. And I think that this incident that happened at the end of the year certainly can be taken as a message out there, that we follow that conviction, and they find those that are the culprits, that they're found guilty and dealt with accordingly.
In the aftermath of the fatal shooting of Jabria Bowens, the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, assured that there's heightened police presence in San Pedro, and that while the presence is sustained, there is also the effort to gather all possible evidential material against those who have been charged.
The quick response from the police led to the apprehension and the subsequent arrest of 2 individuals so far. One is a Paguada and the other one is a Salazar. We're still in search of one person who is a Trap, all of whom are from San Pedro town. While yes, we have gathered enough to charge, and we believe that we do have a good case, the officers remain actively on the grounds in San Pedro to make sure that we gather as much as we can to be able to successfully prosecute those offenders.
After the break, Lionel Budna is the first murder victim of 2023. We'll tell you about that. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
today, we're here shopping at B-Mart. Today we're making the green super smoothie. Let's get after it.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
It's only the third day of the new year, and 2 murders have been recorded already. They occurred within 24 hours of each other, with the most recent taking place during the wee small hours today. We have that story coming up shortly, but we go to the first murder of 2023, which occurred just minutes into the new year on Central American Boulevard in Belize City. Lionel Budna was executed a few yards from his house.
This is the spot where 24-year-old Lionel Budna collapsed after being shot twice, just a stone's throw away from his home right down the street on Central American Boulevard. His death would be the first murder for 2023.
Budna was killed on New Year's morning on Central American Boulevard near its junction with Farbers Road. And again, apparently he was out there with some friends when gunmen came from out of the Muslim school compound and opened fire at him. He was taken to the hospital, and again, he was pronounced dead on arrival.
The family got the dreaded call of the shooting while ringing in the new year during the activities held at Digi Park.
Me, my sister, and my niece and my son, we went to the park to watch the fireworks. And then I have my phone, but then she stopped bringing the phone to me and asked me, "This is a real beer? This is a real?" I tell her, but and I read it myself to her like, "What? My hand shake?" So I gone in the bathroom out of the noise. I got in the bathroom and meanwhile my daughter called me and tell me, "Mommy, they just shot O'Neill, one shot to your heart." When I reached from the crime scene, the same Map Street shirt where he got a job there. I see him laying down on the ground and I like, without, I don't know how to say it and how to explain it. It just hurt me to say, when I hear this, when I see her down there, he get 2 shots. One where in his arm part here, where penetrate past, and one where let in his head, that's where killer where left the bullet in his head.
Budna worked in the food and beverage industry and was not known to be a troublemaker. Prunella White says that the family is puzzled as to why anyone would have wanted him dead.
I don't know if I'm chica happy there, chica happy. Because they be the first one to kill something. And I know they know that Map Street shirt. They know that young man. They know the bike where the young man to ride. So I don't know that what that the thing. I just want to know, and I want justice to say why they kill him. Why?
Police believe that Budna's shooting was gang-related.
We believe that Budna and Martinez's shootings are gang-related.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
A volley of gunshots echoed in the vicinity of Antelope Street Extension overnight, and when the shooting subsided, a resident of Hilda Street lay dead not far away. Ilberto Martinez was gunned down around 3 a.m., and his death is the second murder to be recorded for 2023. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams.
In terms of the shooting or the murder in Belize City, this morning around 3 a.m., police responded to information of shots fired on the Hilda Street in the Antelope Street Extension area, where they saw the lifeless body of one Hilberto Martinez. He was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. At this time, police are still searching for a motive, as well as those persons who may be responsible for that latest murder. As soon as additional information in respect to that murder is received, we will be more than happy to share with you, the members of the media.
The Lotteries Committee, under the Investment Policy and Compliance Unit, intends to consider revoking the license granted to the Brads Gaming Group Limited. On December 23rd, chairperson of the Lotteries Committee, Narda Garcia, wrote to the managing director of Brads Gaming Group Limited regarding the company's compliance with the conditions of its exclusive license to conduct the government lotteries. Under consideration is whether the company has failed to abide by the conditions and regulations pertaining to the sale of tickets in the form prescribed by the Lotteries Committee, as well as tickets being sold bearing the mark lodged with the Lotteries Committee. Likewise, BGGL has failed to consult with the Lotteries Committee to establish a system in tandem with the Income Tax Department and Lotteries Committee for the gathering of sales data, among other alleged infractions. The Lotteries Committee calls upon Brads Gaming to submit a written response no later than January 16, 2023, stating whether it disputes the alleged breaches, as well as provide a reason why the committee ought not exercise its power to revoke the company's license. Earlier today, News 5 reached out to Senior Counsel Dean Barrow, who represents Brads Gaming. He told us that he was in the process of consulting with his client and, as such, could not provide a comment on the matter. When we return, meet the firstborn babies of the new year.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
They are a blessing in disguise. But every year around this time, the firstborn babies for the new year are recognized and showered with gifts from various corporate citizens. This year was no different. In fact, while we have not been able to confirm with all public hospitals, we know that Southern Regional Hospital in Dangriga is reporting 3 babies born on January 1st, while the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital had 4. We got to meet the newborns and their mothers today. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
At the KHMH, there were 4 babies born on January 1st, ringing in the new year. Interestingly, they were all boys, with the first baby boy born to 24-year-old Abigail Gibson of Belize City at 1:30 p.m. Quincy Leiva weighed in at 8 pounds 2 ounces and is Gibson's second child.
This is the greatest blessing I could have asked for. Never expect him to come January the 1st. His due date was December 27th. But I guess he wanted to be the star of the year. So he waited until January the 1st to show. He already has a name. His name is Quincy Leiva. We haven't quite yet decided on a middle name, but Quincy Leiva.
For over a decade now, Sandcast Group has been supporting New Year babies across the country with starter kits, not only at the KHMH. And this year, marketing manager Aisha Trapp says that they're continuing with the tradition.
We couldn't make this New Year pass without doing this again. This is part of our tradition as a company. In 4 years, we'll be 100. And no way to celebrate that than to give back to our community that has supported us for over this 100 years. So we just want to continue our tradition doing by gifting these babies with a starter kit. Huggies diapers, wipes, Kotex for the mom, Ovaltine for breastfeeding. So that is what we have in our packages, and we give all 4 babies a nice package. We have to add as well that we call each public hospital in all the different districts, and once they've had a baby for the first year, the first baby, we give that baby a package as well.
There were other groups that visited the maternity ward with gifts.
When KHMH reached out to us to see if we would be interested in kind of getting a gift package for the first mom, baby born for the year, and we were delighted. We're all about celebrating the gift of life, which goes hand in hand with, our organization.
And what better way to start the new year but with the celebration of life? And at the core, what we do is family protection, right? So celebrating life is definitely one of them. So we wanted to reach out and, just to make welcome, especially one of the babies we understand is the only boy or the first boy in his family, right? So definitely cause for celebration.
Elsie Mae Bermudez, who is also of Belize City, had her second child, Samuelino, approximately 5 hours after the first baby was born. Who would have the third baby for the new year was a toss-up between Osdera Leslie and Dulce Mejia. Both are first-time mothers with separate due dates, but are excited about the new journey with their bundles of joy.
I felt him coming, so I had to come to the hospital.
What time was it?
I had contractions around 10 o'clock, and I could have bear the pain, and then it started around 6. I came to the hospital around 11. It was an experience. I think it won't ever happen again right now soon, but it was an amazing experience, and I was glad and thankful to experience the journey.
He was actually scheduled for the 7th of January, but from the Thursday I was already experiencing contractions, and so I knew it was coming soon. So thank God it came on the New Year's, New Year's, new blessings. So I'm thankful for that.
Any name?
Not as yet.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
As the country continues to experience another wave of COVID-19, tonight we can report that there were 228 new cases detected between December 28th and January 3rd. This takes the weekly positivity rate to 12.4%. The COVID-19 data report issued by the Ministry of Health and Wellness illustrates that no deaths have been reported, but there are, however, 2 hospitalizations. The number of active cases now stands at 150. News 5 spoke earlier today with a ministry official about a new variant that has been detected in China. But reports are that it is a subvariant of Omicron and has similar mild symptoms. The ministry continues to encourage persons 5 years and older to get vaccinated as soon as possible, and for those eligible to take a booster shot to do so as well. Is there trouble ahead in the citrus industry? This morning, Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai shared dismal news coming from the south, where farmers are refusing to deliver grapefruits to the factory because of prices being offered per box of fruit.
We are right now in the middle of the grapefruit harvest. From the reports I'm getting, it's not looking well. The yields are down. Farmers are reporting to be clearing down their orchards. It appears that the farmers are not satisfied with the price being paid. The price being paid by the company now is $14 per box of citrus, for orange, and $14 for grapefruit. Grapefruit began in early as October, November, December. We're in the middle of it right now, with grapefruit. And farmers, it seems, are prepared to leave the fruits on the tree and not harvest at that cost. They're saying that they cannot meet their expenses at $14. That is
this price predicated upon?
Right. Well, the price is based on the world market. The world price has gone up, but the price has gone down. To farmers has gone down compared to last year. And so farmers are not happy. I have to meet them this week to look at what is actually happening. The government, through DFC, had allocated monies to try to bring back the industry. One is to rehabilitate existing farms, orchards, and the other was to replant the resistant or tolerant varieties. But I'm a little concerned for what is happening right now.
Over the weekend, the Creme New Year's Day Cycling Classic took place, and riders in the elite, female and junior categories took the track along the Fulgosen Highway. From the Belize-Mexico border to Belize City, 71 registered riders, and 96 miles later, the 32nd edition of the race was won by Derek Chavarria of FAL's cycling team in the elite category. News 5 spoke with him via phone today.
It's been like 4 or 5 months that I've been out the country studying abroad, but also training in really different terrain from Belize City. So, you know, the much more mountains, higher elevation, and all that sort of stuff, along with the dedication and discipline towards the sport, you know, waking up early and getting what needs to get done, all that played a role, and, you know, I'm glad to see that, you know. So the strategy going into the race was to pretty much have 2 or more guys in the breakaway, and that's exactly what happened. It was myself and my brother up there, and we were just working together and communicating with each other and the team people. And, you know, when I saw Eric made the move and no one followed, I made a move to go with him. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay with me till the end. But, you know, I still pulled off the win for my team, and, you know, I'm grateful for that. Towards the end was where most of the bigger prizes were, and that's when I started going solo. I think I ran for around roughly 13 miles, and most of the prizes, like $1,000 and stuff, were within that range. And, you know, I was by myself, so I got everything.
Second place in the elite category was Jaiven Gonzalez, and Giovanni Lovell came in 4th. In the female category, Kaya Catus came in 1st, while Mariana Valdez took 2nd place. In the junior category, Tyler Tejada won 1st place, with Jamar Murray coming in 2nd. Delton Rojas took 3rd place. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.